So the Terran player is mined out in the main base, almost mined out in the natural, and has depleted half of his third base. Hello, Will Hanman first. What are you confused about? It says stream starting. Oh no! Oh no! I've been casting off. So for the past 1 hour, I did not change the scene, and if you like a podcast of all the CPL games, you can enjoy them maybe before bed, because there will be nothing to watch. But if you like my voice, you can listen and fall asleep on some Starcraft. Oh man, that feels so bad. I need to start checking my stream every time I put it. Well, good news is there is one more game to be casted, which is not part of the official Group 12, but oh man, I feel so stupid right now. So we have one more game to be casted. Not part of the official Group 12, but it's a game of Borisu. Let me just do that so that you don't see the game length. It's gonna be another TVP, again on Fighting Spirit, as part of the preseason. As part of the preseason games, and it will be Borisu versus Surge. Man, that fail. Yeah, apologies again. Anyway, let's get into our last game now with some video as well, and instead of just you hearing me commenting on the games. But I mean, it worked for soccer games in the past, so why not work for Brood War? Do all games in the preseason get casted? I don't think so, because unfortunately we don't have as many casters as we would like to have. So some of the games get casted. What group are you in? I will possibly not cast any games today because I have plans for the day after this cast, but if you tell me what group you are in, I might announce a cast for that, or try and coordinate with Z0 and the other casters to see if we can cast their games. Okay, so enough about random chat. We have our Protoss player starting in orange in the... Oh, nice pick versus bottom. In orange, starting in the bottom left position, and our Terran player starting in purple in the top left position. Do I like that better? No, I don't like red Protoss. Even though I do like blue Terran. Let's just stick with the colors that they chose. We have some very early scout from the Protoss player. Scout after gateway. You are usually safe in PvP to not do that. And you often need to do it in PvP, but this is not PvP. And as far as I know, Borisu plays Terran, so yeah, it's not like he was random. The only reason I can think of scouting so early as Protoss is to try and scout the proxy locations to see if the Terran is doing some marine aggression with, you know, bunker near your ramp and marines and GG. But that doesn't really happen often because it's not so hard to stop. You just need to pull probes, and especially if you have a Zealot early on, it's it's just not gonna work. The SCV hides currently in the Terran in the Protoss player base, but so I said something about Terran players not usually going crazy on non-standard plays, but I also know Borisu and he asked me to cast his game, so maybe it was a good game. And we see double barracks. Hello Marines, the probe is currently scouting that double barracks. And there's a bunch of Marines in production, struggling really to kill the scouting probe. The Protoss players building a lot of pylons, which is okay. Oh, build a Zealot eventually, but the Zealot is not really going to kill that Zealot. Don't really care if my games are casted, says Wilhan Man first. I just didn't know that casting was happening already, so I was wondering if it happens for all games. So that cast, as you... oh wow, in base factory. That cast, as you already noticed, hasn't been the highest quality of the casts, especially with the first part being a podcast rather than a cast. I like this. But in general, if casts are happening, you will see them being announced in the CPL cast channel. I did not currently announce my CPL cast, maybe without the video. That is not such a big loss, because I didn't have permissions, but I should have all the permissions soon to do that. That Marine is still chasing that probe, it's hilarious. In-base factory got scouted and was denied, I believe, because Prospect just saw it. I have 2 Dragoons. But 2 Dragoons against 10 Marines. It's not a fight that you want to pick, usually. But yes, to answer your question, Will and Man first. Casts will be happening throughout the whole duration of CPL, and usually, almost always, even will be announced in the cast channel. Most likely they will be uploaded to YouTube. I'll probably ask this cast to not be uploaded except for the last game to YouTube, because there's not much point of doing it. Because all the lack of observing the games early on. Maybe this one. This is a good game. Non-standard. I don't really know what to expect. So the good response from the Protoss player. So that the Terran was going for a bunch of bio and is going into reverse, and really that is one of the main reasons why you do not go bio against Protoss. It's not only because bio does not have that much damage against the Protoss units, but it's mostly because things like Psystorm and Reavers exist, and they can be very deadly to Terran bio force. Because Marines do little damage against Dragoons, do okay damage against Zealots. But that's mostly it doesn't matter because Steam exists, and even the little damage that they do stacks quite well. But yes, if you're Flash or Borisu, it seems, you can go for some bio plays against Protoss. We had the second engineering bay that was picked here. Kind of unfortunate if the Terran player is planning to carry on with his Bioforce, which I don't think they are. We have, I'd say, quite late Nexus from the Protoss player, but we also have even later, CC from the Terran player. I don't know, I just brain lagged there. And I was gonna say the Terran player will probably be abandoning his bio strategy by now, but you can see that he's going for an upgrade. You can see that he's adding more barracks. This barrack says he's adding more of the building that builds marines and infantry for the Terran army. Man. Don't know. It's adding more racks. That's how you say in Starcraft terms. I have a random proxy pylon on the map, and Boris is cutting. Maybe to compensate for his late second days, the Boris is trying to take faster third days. I'm not gonna say faster or slower really in this game because hold up, these timings are relative. Protoss player is facing Bioplay. He's responding with some Reavers. And he's now taking two Arbiters or maybe Templars. Let's see if the Reaver drop is gonna do something. Drops the Reaver first, and funnily enough, there was the Dragoon that managed to it was the Dragoon that forced some damage onto the Reaver with the tank splash, because the spot that he found over here for his Reaver was, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but was just outside the siege tank range. Adding a pylon wall, which is really good against vultures. Against these boys, your pylon walls do not work. It's even worse for the Protoss. You decide to go for them. But yeah, that's probably more of an instinct rather than something that our Protoss player was actually thinking about. Because you do that in, I want to say, 95% of the PvP. Or it's beneficial for you to do it in 95% of the PvPs. You don't always do it. Sometimes you just add cannons because there's no aggressive. And the base is close for you to defend it. And we have 4 gateways and a Stargate, so quite possibly Arbiters. 3 barracks pumping stuff, and the Terran is gonna go for some drop play. In response to the Protoss drop play, yeah, here it is. I was gonna say, where did that shuttle go? And what's happening right now? I don't really know. The Protoss is going for something like a small campaign, shooting Reavers, shooting shuttles now, adding more gates. It's good in general if you can try to fit as many gateways as you can on one screen, because it makes it's easier to max up. When you have a lot of gateways on the same screen, you don't need to scroll in your base to do that. And double dropship from the Terran player. Empty dropships currently, but dropships nonetheless. Gonna be loaded with a bunch of bio and will be looking to do some damage on the map. Well, you heard, I can't really say I saw earlier dropship plays being very deadly against Zerg players, especially bio droppers. But let's see what they're gonna do against our Protoss player right now. Dropship's going into the main base. Borisu, known for his unorthodox style, but also currently for having a lot of minerals. And we seemed like we were gonna have a response in a drop in response to the drop, but the shuttle was empty, and it has a one river now. Good pick off, so the Terran player managed to get a Nexus worth it for his troubles, managed to pick the Templar Archives, which will now needs to be rebuilt if the Protoss player wants to go for any arbiters. Well, another thing that he needs to rebuild is the what are you doing, Mr. Result? Why? Why? I was gonna say, oh yes, the Terran player Protoss player needs to rebuild the archives and the Stargate if they wish to go for some arbiters. And instead they're currently going for another Nexus. I mean, they just lost one Nexus, so why not? Oh, what do we have here? What do we have here? Building from these things. Where is it? Where is it? You don't have it yet, but I will now try and guess that the add-on for this command center is not going to be a ComSat station. Quite a few pylons, so at least the Protoss player is not going to be supply blocked anytime soon. I want to say for what it's worth, this game has been quite entertaining. I mean, the Protoss player right now and for the past 5 minutes probably had such a huge army with rivers that they could have just run into the Terran main base and ended all this, but they didn't, and Borisu is making good use of his opponent's indecisiveness, I guess. But again, not blaming in any way the Protoss player, because usually you cannot do stuff like run into the main base and kill the Terran player, because they're filled with mines and we're going for another drop. They're filled with mines and siege tanks and some sim city that doesn't let your zealots reach any of this. We have a shuttle that might be picked off. Nope. But is now flying into... yeah. Some turrets. And that was the end of the shuttle. Managed to drop one zealot. The zealot managed to kill one marine. Or more like the splash damage from the siege tanks managed to kill it. But one marine for shuttle, 2 zealots and a river. Not the best trade. Or the Protoss player could have gone for. Yes. Yes, what is that add-on? I told you it was not gonna be a ComSat station. And we are just gonna stop observing the game and admire that add-on being built. And then maybe come back to it once it eventually starts to... oh, nuclear silos built so slowly. Once it eventually starts to build stuff. Is that like a little door? Oh, it has the Terran Dominion flag or whatever, and it starts building the nuke immediately. So, looking forward to seeing what Borisu We'll make out of that 3 stargates, rebuild archives, adding more gateways. All these gateways are okay, but unless you close down these pawns, they will only be able to produce Templars. Even though all the Protoss units technically are Templars, except for the Reaver and the... what's it called? Observer? Probe? Both of them. Because it's the Templars is the race, Zealot is a Templar, that is just a high Templar. Dragoon is just a dead Zealot, so Templar again, some sort of a zombie Templar, but Templar. And the Dark Templars are just under Templars. So yeah, you get so many Templars. Not sure what the Scouts are really, but if they're like Artanis, they are also Templars. But we don't talk about Scouts. They cost way too much for us to talk about them. So Borisu is scouting. Sees that there is no Nexus being rebuilt in the main base, and I'm wondering what his plan about it is. It would be so nice to see the EMP nuke combo, but we're getting nukes. I mean, that's not a treat that you get every day. Mostly getting nukes because the Protoss player has decided to not end the game. A huge drop that I don't know how I missed, because I was literally looking here right now. And we have a nuke. Where is the nuke? Oh, there it is. Oh my god, I can barely see it. I don't know if the Borisu being Borisu. I mean, yeah, well done. You killed some Dragoons and the Cyber Core, but was that worth it? I don't know. It was entertaining. Oh, the ghosts are gonna snipe all the High Templars. Snipers they are. Yep, no more High Templars. So well done, ghosts. Maybe they'll lock down. No energy for lockdowns. But you can fight off these goons because you have medics. Meanwhile, Protoss player doesn't really care. Puts his hands in the air. And it's just taking the whole map. That was, interestingly, about 40 units lost from the Terran player, who is now going for mind control. Wow, just what can you find in CPL? So 3 Stargates, Fleet Beacon. I don't think the Fleet Beacon is just for air weapon level 2, so quite possibly we'll be going for carriers on top of the mind control that he is currently going for. So some of these probes need to move to, say, this base or that base. We've got a healthy amount of probes over here. And the second nuke is already done, so Borisu just needs to make use of it. Oh. The ghost got sniped. Are we rebuilding any more ghosts? Do we have any more ghosts? We have one ghost, one nuke. And Boris is going to be going for the massive drop play once again. I thought for a moment that is gonna be the special dropship that is only gonna carry that one ghost and nothing else. I mean, at this point we already know that. I was gonna say we already know who's gonna win because now the Protoss player also has carriers on top of his massive army. Not as massive upgrades, but massive army. Good upgrades. Here finally the Protoss player decides to be aggressive and try to do something about one of the bases of the Terran, and like look how effective 10 Zealots were. So when he had like 3 control groups, could have just done so much more. Boris now showing his hand and revealing all the dropships with the bio. I wouldn't say that it's a big surprise. I love when Terran players repair their mech units, so I'd like to see that. Oh my god, that is the initial Reaver from the beginning of the game. That the Dragoon lured some shots and damage onto it, but it's still alive, and the shuttle as well. That managed to escape a few Marines. And no, there was no missile there, just a few Marines. Protoss player wants to go for the base. 7 dropships. How often do you see 7 dropships in PvP? I don't know about you, but I don't see it very often. Especially dropships filled with bio. But yeah, bio's damage is insane. He could have gone for a total recall of his bio. The Protoss player not using all of his army, just half. But did manage to deny that. No, the nuke is gonna go down. No, don't kill the silo. That's the nuke there. This Protoss player has no heart. Once bio hits a certain amount from doing no damage to deleting of the oh my comp. Are you a Protoss player? Because it shouldn't happen. Like if they play bio against you as a Protoss, just out Reavers and High Templars. But they are very effective when Zerk, yes. Zerk bio is very deadly, but especially if it's 3-3. But you have Dark Sword. It is very micro intensive and it's hard to pull off, but that's the way to build Terran bio. Command center just burned down. And Protoss player still not using his whole army, but denying the third base, which was almost all the mining of the Terran player right now. Boris in the meantime deleted that one base immediately with his drop play. He's gonna take down this base. Has a very good potential of taking down this base as well with the bio. Carriers currently do not have... Okay, so 2 of the carriers have 8 interceptors. One of the carriers has nothing. But funnily enough, Marines are really good against interceptors, so... Even though carriers are a good unit, especially against Terran, they die to Goliath, they die to Marines. You sort of need to know how to use your carriers. They're not a unit that you'll go for in every map, unless you're Code Bonnet, and then you can go for carriers everywhere. Was it in all the matchups? No, he didn't build carriers in PZ, I think, recently. Someone else did in ASL. Yeah, I think someone in ASL built carriers. Or was I watching a Bisu stream? I don't know. Anyway. Protoss player losing bases, but also taking bases. Taking absolutely every base on the map right now, after losing a few. Let's see, now these carriers have a lot more interceptors. And there are these High Templars. And they don't manage to cast storms, but it seems like there's just too many interceptors right now. A lot of the interceptors went down, but still there's a healthy amount. Interceptors being picked off. So the reason why can I find the carrier? That's not good in interceptor. The reason why interceptors don't go down almost immediately is because these marines are not +3 marines yet. And in the meantime, we are just gonna have what we should have had 20 minutes ago. But let's face it, if Sir Gling did that 20 minutes ago, we would not have the game which featured nukes and bio drops and everything, so not even mad about it. Wait, why was the siege tank? I was almost sure that I saw a siege tank shooting over there. And it got picked up. Now, if the Protoss player really wants to assert his dominance, that base as well. But building Nexus over here, now that's a bad manner. Taking a Nexus here. Okay, you deserve it after this game. Do not build your bases there, no matter what your opponent is, who your opponent is, what their MMR is, or anything like that. Please don't be a Korean. So that bio drop was stopped. Dropships were saved. 4 out of the 7 dropships were saved. But that doesn't really matter at the moment, because we are just waiting for either Boris to tap out or circling to do what he's currently doing, but also maybe with a bit of a ground support. Nice EMP. Hits most of the carriers there. All the carriers but this one. And yes, we sort of have a fantasy GG timing from Borisu right now. That shuttle from the beginning of the game, is it gonna be the hero that also ends the game? Or is it gonna die? Let's find out. So the Reaver is there. His shuttle buddy is not very far away. Oh, we have 2 lockdowns. We don't have enough marines to pick up the locked down area. Reaver from the beginning of the game is just chilling there. Maybe gonna kill 1 marine. Yeah. Now it has 3 kills. 6 kills. 7 kills. So from a podcast, now this stream is Sesame Street cast. Wow, 8 kills for the Reaver. could have taken 2 more, like Sesame Street Vampire usually counts to 10. There you go, 9 kills. Only 1 more kill is a lot for this Reaver. Great, maybe wanted to snipe the shuttle, but they're Dragoons. There's an observer and the Wraith does not even have a poke. H-tanks on the top of the ramp. They took out the Sesame Street Reaver. No, that was the Reaver from the beginning of the game. It's a Reaver that survived almost 30 minutes. Only to die to a fantasy GG time. What a sad day to be a Reaver. 2 more lockdowns being thrown down. Carriers doing carrier things. Yep, Borisu finally decides to tap out, but despite of his unorthodox strategy, it was a fairly fun game to cast. Just goes to show how much Protoses are scared to act on Terrans sitting in their bases and would much rather react to Terrans going out to their bases. And that's why we had a 33 minutes and 33 second game, which could have really been a 15-minute game. But we saw Bioplay against Protoss, we saw Nukes, and we saw Lockdown. Not things that you see every day as a ordinary Starcraft observer. And for the past 30 minutes we also had video for this stream. We did not have any audio, unfortunately. Oh no, we had audio for all the duration of the stream. We didn't have video for maybe 80% of the stream. Which is a mistake that I will fix for next time when I see you. And if you'd like a podcast of Group 12, maybe use this resource. If you like a cast of a game that featured nukes, feel free to check that one. Yeah, podcast. You wouldn't mind CPL podcasts? Maybe I can record myself while I'm screaming during the games. That might be entertaining, but not. I don't think anything worth watching or listening to before you go to bed, because you might not be able to do so. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. All the people that did. Sorry to everyone who is gonna check the podcast later. And have a great day. CPL cast will be announced in CPL-cast channel on the CPL channel, CPL server on Discord. If you're interested in those, and have a good week. And I will maybe see you on next Sunday. If you are here for beginner Starcraft tour, which so far has always been casts, no podcasts. And maybe what do you call it? A cast at around midnight Central European time next Monday with some games. So do check out the channel, usually active either on the weekends or early on in the week. And I'll see you next time.